Thank you, everyone, for staying with us. Listen to what some of these voters had to say when they were asked why is there a low voter turnout in today's local council election in Lagos. Take a listen.
Did you vote? You didn't vote. Why?
No problem. I don't have PVC.
Eh?
I don't have photo card.
I was busy at home.
Busy at home from 8 to 3 p.m.?
Yeah.
You don't want to change your local government administration or continued processes?
It's not
you don't even... Wow, tell me, what do you think about the election generally that made you not to vote?
I don't know, because I was busy at home.
But it was announced.
I was busy, not my fault. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, you're not. It's not me, but I mean, what's your local government? What area do you stay?
I don't stay around here.
Oh, you don't stay in Lagos?
Yes.
I live in Ogun State.
Oh, you don't live in Lagos?
No. I lived Lagos before. I registered in Lagos.
Why didn't you vote?
I went to school.
School? No, there was no school. There was no movement between 8 and 3 p.m. today, so you couldn't have gone to school.
I left before 8 a.m.
You guys had lecture?
Yes, Ogun State. Ogun State.
Oh, you live in Lagos?
Yes, I live in Lagos.
Some interesting responses for some of those who perhaps you have a sense of why some people didn't come out today. And if you are living in Lagos and you did not come out to vote, well, you have some story to tell about the reasons why you didn't come out to vote. Let's get back to the conversation now. The issue that happened in the APC is one that a lot of people would think, one of the issues that was raised with the earlier panel about what happened in the primaries of the APC, the run-up, the PDP had its own issues. Nobody was sure about where PDP stood. Do you think it was a major issue why people didn't turn out?
Yeah, I think it's a major issue. I was telling somebody, if you notice, Dr. Muiz Banire is the National Legal Advisor, not state, National Legal Advisor of the APC. And when the National, he might have his own interest since he's from Mushi and Odiolo, but when the National Legal Advisor says that a process is wrong, even if you disagree with him, respect his
even
office.
When he has an interest.
Even if you disagree with him, that's what I said. Why do I say this? I was the returning officer. I'll give an example. I was the returning officer to the minority leader of the House of Rep, Dr. Leo Ogo. And when I was given the papers and all the materials to go to conduct 6 primaries, I didn't get a call, even though he was a minority leader. By the time I got to the field where I was to conduct that election, he had 4 or 5 people contested against him. One of them was totally drunk. I didn't want us to go. I had done the first accreditation. I had to go on to do the second accreditation just to satisfy him. He didn't want us to go through the process. But because of the way the process was transparent in that particular primaries, it was not until after I had given him his return certificate, that is the present minority leader, that was when we got to speak. What am I saying? If you run a transparent primaries, if you run a transparent primary election, there will be no issues like this. Dr. Muiz Banire pointed out that, what was so special about the candidate in Mushin and LCD Odiolo, that the House of Assembly had to amend the law in one day, first reading, second reading, third reading, until the bill was signed? I mean, that's a thumbs down. No matter how important, that's why I said the minority leader of the House of Rep. If the minority leader of the House of Rep will not manipulate his own election, why should we manipulate the elections for one human being in Mushin? It was obvious that the primaries in Mushin was manipulated so to suit the chairmanship candidate that they wanted to impose on the people.
Do you think this election is going to be one-sided?
Let me tell you the truth. The truth about it is that it's going to be one-sided, but it's going to be a lot of election petitions, which will be APC versus APC. Because the truth is, whether I like it or not, PDP didn't participate in this election. So there's no way PDP can come and start crying foul in this election.
Yeah. Well, if I may come in, you see, people do rush into some certain conclusion with the greatest of respect. You see, take for instance the issue that happened in Kogi State. If the National Assembly was very proactive, I expected them to have sat down, looked at the matter when ex-governor Audu died, and take a position, because there was no law in the land that backed, you understand, whatever processes that had happened. They would have taken a position, perhaps enact a law to resolve that situation. So if the Lagos State House of Assembly had sat down to look at an issue within themselves and come out with something workable for for the peace of the land, I don't think anybody should hammer them for that.
Even
The major thing is there was a court pronouncement. The court said, go and reconduct a primaries. The APC obeyed. That was reconducted.
But the law was amended to favor the APC.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't.
At the time, it was amended.
It wasn't. It wasn't. If other party had such situation, the window was open for everybody. It was not just for the APC. It was for the people of Lagos to sue the interests of the people of Lagos, not a certain person.
But correct me if I'm wrong.
Morally speaking,
yes.
Do you think it was right?
Morally speaking, it was right. It was right to consider any mishap that would have happened to the fabric of political inclination in Nigeria.
To amend an electoral law in the week of the election.
A law can be amended within 24 hours. If indeed that law is to serve the people. Remember, those who enacted that law are sitting for the people. They are elected representatives of the people.
But that law said
so you leave that for the people to talk about.
I just wanted to point out something.
You leave that for the people to talk about. That law is meant for Lagos people. Lagos people. The Lagos people do agree by their elected representative to put that law in place. So if you have anything against that law, you go to court.
I mean,
No, but that law says substitution. I just want to be clear on that. That's what I want to be clear on. The law says substitution of candidates 4 days to the election.
3 days, actually.
And you can substitute. But what was done was a fresh conduct of primaries. This is not my party, but I'm just trying to point out that what is right is right. They should have said conduct fresh primaries in the law.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Was there any fault in the process of enacting that law?
No, no fault.
No fault. So,
yes.
You cannot shoot it down.
Well, if
the law was made.
And conduct
I asked you the question: was there any fault?
Well, there's no fault because it's a Lagos Assembly.
You can't shoot it down. If they were not faulty in the process of making that law, so be it.
Let me show you, Dayo Israel. These.